Hi students. In previous class, we have discussed about MEC architecture, MET architecture. We have discussed. So in Django, we are going to use MET architecture or MET design pattern is used, like a model view template. And yesterday I've told in detail about all these layers, like how it is going to work. All these we have discussed in previous classes. In previous demos, I've told about what is Django, then history, and after that we have discussed about top 5 features of Django. All these we have discussed. And yesterday I've told about what is design pattern, what is MEC, MBT design pattern. So what is the difference between developing websites using a design pattern or without design pattern, developing the website with design patterns, developing the websites without design pattern, developing the websites, a difference. All these yesterday we have discussed. And those have missed previous classes, like the recorded videos are there in there with online team. You can watch these videos in YouTube, or else you can talk to online team. They will send you the links for the previous demos, so that you can follow. Otherwise, if you register for the course, I will send you the recorded videos from the beginning. All the videos I'll send, and the notes also I'll send to your mail IDs. So every day I will send you the recorded video and the notes to your mail IDs. Every day I will send. And this, as I said before, these classes will be for 45 50 days. So within 45-50 days I'll try to complete all the chapters. And after that we'll discuss about project also. So project I'll take for 1 week or 10 days. I'll take the project. And yesterday also I've told, like, what all examples I'll give, all will be the real-time examples, so that you can practice and you can work with. So I will recap yesterday's things, then we'll move to the next. Today we are going to discuss about how to create virtual environment, and then we'll see uh, how to install Django, how to create a Django project, how to create applications in the project. Application means websites. Then how to run the server, a web server, and how to exit from virtual environment. Like all these things we are going to discuss in today's session. We are going to discuss about all these. So let me recap yesterday's options, and we'll move to next. So here in Django, here we are using design patterns. So as I told that, a design pattern means it is like a blueprint. So it will show how to do the project step by step. We can say a blueprint is just like a final print. Whenever any project or work is started, they will have a plan. So when they start with perfect planning, then they can complete the project within the given schedule. Design pattern is also same. It is like a blueprint or final print. So it will show the steps how to do the project. It will show the flow how to do the project successfully, complete the project successfully. And it will yeah, like what we are doing is we are starting the project with a perfect planning, like what we should do in the project. And it is used to tell what problems is going to arise, then how to rectify the problems. So when we are following any design pattern while doing the project, so it will says what problem is going to arise and how to resolve the problem. So MVC, MVT, MVC is used in Java, .NET, PHP, and Python. It is used. And when we say about this MET here, MET means Django will follows this MET architecture. It will it will follows here. Okay, so MVC and MVT are proved and they are successfully used in IT companies for website development. For website development, they are used. And here, when we are working with like a model view template, so here when we say template, it is nothing but HTML file. So we are going to create HTML file here, and that HTML file, what we create, it works as a presentation layer, or it will works as like a user interface presentation layer. So here HTML, yesterday I've told. So here HTML file will works as a static page and dynamic page. In other server-side technologies, while creating dynamic pages, or when we are writing a server-side code, when we are working with back-end technologies, like a dynamic page, the extension will be different, like a .asp file name, .aspx, then .php, then .jsp, like a dynamic pages or server-side technologies pages, backend technologies pages, extensions are different. But in Django, for static page and dynamic page, the extension is same. We'll have only HTML files here. Like we'll not get pages with extension .asp, .aspx, .jsp, like that we'll not get. But how can we identify whether the page is static page or dynamic page is? Like if the page is having HTML, JavaScript, CSS, jQuery, all these, then they are static pages. So along with all this, along with HTML, JavaScript, CSS, jQuery, all these, when we are using template tags in HTML files. So template tags means we'll use like this, like a variable or a key will say. So this is called as template tag. Like variable or key will use. Key means key value pairs will say no. So that I'm using here. So it is used to display the values. It is used to show the values from the. It is used to display the values in the variable or key. Like key will show the values. Whenever you want to show the values from the server, then we can give like this, sending the values, accessing the values. And here we'll use a template tag coding also. So template tag code will say Jinja 2. Language name is Jinja 2. So in my classes, you will learn all this. A template tag coding also will be there. So the template tag coding will use in will use like this, like brackets, and here we'll give like this. So we are going to give like this, and here we'll write a statement or statements. So template tag coding means it is a language. So that we are going to use in where HTML file. Okay, if you are using template tags like this in HTML file, or if you are using template tag coding like this in HTML file, along with HTML and other client-side technologies, then it is treated as a dynamic page, or it is a server-side code. It is a server-side code, we'll say. Okay, so like in template tag coding, we can access HTML files, CSS files, image files, media files, audio, video files, and we can access, we can use if condition for loop, like to access the records from the database table, sending the records to the database table. So sending the data to server, accessing the data, all these are used. Okay, so about template tags, about template tag coding, we'll see many examples. So without this, we cannot create a dynamic pages. So I think all are following what I'm saying here. So when we say presentation layer, here when we say template, template means what? HTML file. So HTML file is called as a presentation layer or user interface. So here in Django, we'll focus on creating static pages and dynamic pages. So for static and dynamic pages, HTML.html is a file extension. So if the HTML file contains HTML, JavaScript, CSS, jQuery, Bootstrap, all this, it is static page. So in HTML file, along with HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, if template tags are given, or if template tag coding is given within HTML file, within HTML tags, then it is treated as a dynamic page. Okay, so in a Django, when you create dynamic pages, you will not get a different extension for the files, different extension for the pages, like how we used to get in other languages, like .asp, .php, .aspx, like .jsp, like that will not get. So based on the code within the page, we have to decide whether it is static page or dynamic page here. Like when we say like variable name, key value, or when we say like statements, so it is in Python only. Okay, so browser can understand all the client side technologies. Browser cannot understand server side or backend technologies, it will not understand. Okay, server side code it will not understand. So when you take Django here, Django is a framework completely developed in Python. It has a Python files or modules. So when we are writing any code, it means that it is Python code only. Like it may be template tags or it may be template tag coding here. Okay, so then browser cannot understand here. Rendering is done, conversion is done. Whatever code we are writing here, that code is converted to
So what do you mean, sir? Renderization, render? What you have to?
So rendering means conversion, converting server side code to client side code. Like a server side code will runs in the server, but we have to convert that to client side code. That is called rendering. Okay, so in Django, we can create HTML controls using Python code. When we write Python code in Django, that Python code is converted to HTML code, like a client-side code, and then we can see the controls. Like a rendering is there. Like when we see the examples, I will show you how rendering is being done, how the Python code is converted to HTML code, or how the Python code is converted to HTML controls. All we'll see. Rendering, we'll see the rendering process. How it is going to be done, we'll discuss that. And here you can see view is there here. So view will call it as a business access layer or service layer. So it is used to store or used to maintain the values. It is used to store or used to maintain the values given in web pages or given in application. Application means website. So whatever values we give in website or else in web pages, those values we are giving it to we are storing in business access layer or service layer. So view means it is a Python file, views.py, views.py. Okay. So business access layer is Python file. So here we have two types here, function based views, class based views. Views.py can have functions or views.py can have classes. Like all those examples we'll see about function based views, class based views. And next one is model is there here. So model is used to take data from the view and it will send it to the database. Like it can be SQLite or MySQL or SQL Server or any other database. So model means it is called as a data access layer or repository layer. It is used to communicate with the database. So model means again it is Python file, models.py, models.py. So in view, we'll create a views.py, Python code. In model, we'll create models.py, Python code we are going to write. So while working with models.py, we'll not use SQL commands. Yesterday I've told this, we'll use ORM, object relational mapping. So again, it is Python code. So using Python code, accessing the data, then displaying the data, like what all we do with SQL commands, like select, insert, update, delete. So in Python classes, to integrate with the database, to connect Python program with database, we'll use SQL commands. In Django, we'll not use SQL commands. We'll use ORM. Again, it is Python code. Using Python code, accessing the records, displaying the records, editing, deleting the records, and displaying the records based on the given condition. All is done with ORM only. So here we have a separate chapter called ORM, like how to give the conditions, like how to write where clause with greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, not equal to, how to use end of logical operators like and or not. All these we can we can use it. And here you can see here a presentation layer, HTML files, business access layer, and data access layer. So in MVT architecture, in MVT design pattern, 3 layers are there. So MVT design pattern or architecture is a theory part. That theory we are implementing in Django framework. In Django framework, we are implementing that design pattern. We are implementing here. Okay, and here while working with this design patterns here, like 3 layers will get. Like here we'll get different folders. In the folders, subfolders, again we'll create files. Like we'll write code in the files. All these will be there. Integration is done easily. As I told before, like why design patterns are used in the project development or software development is, so with design patterns, project development is easy, maintenance easy, because work is separated into layers. Like here we'll get a folder, subfolders, files, all these will be there. So in the design patterns, we don't have any integration issues. Integration problems will not arise. Like the files or programs in different folders, they can communicate with other programs. Like all this is being done. So integration issues will not be there. So when you are working on major projects, big projects which are for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, if many people are involved in the project, so by using design patterns, work is separated. We can split the work. When work is separated, they will have clarity, like what they are doing in the project. So confusion will not be there. So project development is easy, and also maintenance is also easy. Okay, so about all this, see, those who are attending the demo, like today, if today is your first class, please watch previous demos also. I have told a lot of things, from basics to the advanced concepts. I've told many things. So if you watch previous demos, you will not miss anything. You can talk to online team. They will give you the link of the videos, or else if you register for the classes, I will send from first class to till now. I will send all the videos to your mail ID. I will share videos with Google Drive. You can watch, you can see the videos. So now we are going to discuss about what is a virtual environment, then how to install Django software, how to install the project application. So all these we'll see one by one here. So here I'm not installing Sublime IDE. That we'll see in next class. We'll see that installing IDE, integrated development environment, Sublime. Or if you are already using PyCharm, you can continue with that. Or if you are using Atom, anything, you can continue with using that particular IDE. And now we'll see the steps here. See here, whatever notes here you are seeing here, like many documents are there. Like I will send all these to your mail IDs. Like day wise I'll send, or chapters wise. So day wise examples are there. Day wise examples and notes I'll send. Okay, so that you can do practice. So here first we'll create a virtual environment. We'll create here virtual environment. So here we can see physical environment and virtual environment. So when you are working with Java, .NET, Python, you will work in physical locations. In C drive, D drive, you'll install and you'll use it. Okay, and for Django, virtual environment is should be created. Virtual environment is isolated from physical environment or system folders. It is isolated, it is separated. Okay, so when we create virtual environment and when we install Django software and Python packages, database connector packages, and database, all these, then the project will run successfully, because it won't have any conflict with the other softwares existing in the system. Okay, So we may use different databases in the system, or we may use different versions also. So not to have any conflict in virtual environment, whatever related softwares, databases are there, database is there, your project will run successfully. For a long time, it can execute work. Okay, and like in my system here, I'm having 3-4 virtual environments I'm using here for different batches. I'm creating different virtual environments in different drives, we can say. In same drive also we can create. In same drive, I can create multiple virtual environments for different batches. For different batches, I'm creating a separate virtual environment. I'm giving examples. Okay, so like when this is useful is when we take our project to uh, like uh, like internet server or production server. So when I publish my website in internet, when I host my website in internet, then first I should take my project to GitHub. So github.com works with github.com works with Git. So it is called as a version control system. Many version control systems are there. GitHub works with Git. So it is used to maintain multiple versions of our project. Multiple versions of our project. Okay, when we create a website, when we host, then it is a first version. After 3 months, if a client asks for some changes, so we'll do some changes and we'll use it. Okay, so that is the second version. Whenever you are doing changes in the code, whenever you are doing modifications in the code, then we can say second version, third version, fourth version, like that. So using GitHub, we are working with Git version control system. And when we place our project in GitHub, then we can take this project to pythonanywhere.com. pythonanywhere.com. So this is the hosting site. Here we can host the website. Hosting we can do here. So here we'll create this website works with a Linux server. In Linux server, we have to create virtual environment. We have to install Django, the version what we want. We have to install Python packages, Python database connectors used for the project, database. All these we have to install. A database or like the files. Okay, so then our project will run successfully in their server. So if in a production server, in internet server, in production server, in internet server, if 100 websites are running, 100 websites will run with different virtual environments. So there it won't have any conflict, because the Django websites developed by different IT companies or else by different programmers. So they will run in different virtual environments. So there we don't have any conflict, like Django version problem, Python version problem, Python packages version problems, database version problems are not going to arise, because we are creating a separate location in the server and we are running our website. Okay, so like in some classes, like when faculty discuss about web hosting, at that time faculty will tell what is virtual environment, how it will works. But in my classes, all the examples, like what all examples we are going to discuss, all the examples we are going to discuss in virtual environment. In virtual environment, so we are going to see all the examples we are going to create. See where this main build is used, main build word is used.
What exactly meant by virtual environment?
Virtual environment means it is it is a separate location. Virtual environment means it is separated from physical environment. Virtual
So
means
physical
it is
environment is
not.
nothing but it's a main build, right? Like it's a production environment.
Yeah, main build means in which language this is used? Which software it is used? Main build you are saying no. That word where it is used in hosting or while in site maintenance and project maintenance it is used where?
I'm not sure because I'm new to development. I
Okay,
haven't
okay.
learned any.
Okay. So here see for site maintenance or like maintaining the sites like in production site maintenance, all these will be there. So there also we have to update the files and we need to do. That's why I'm saying no. In here GitHub.com works with version control system. Okay, version control system can maintain multiple versions of our project. Whenever you are doing changes, again you have to send that code to GitHub. After 1 month, if I am doing changes, again we have to update that in GitHub so that it can maintain multiple versions of the project. Every day will not, we cannot do changes in the code. Okay, see in websites, changing the advertisements, changing the images, that we can do it. Code changing means that is different. Changing the code in the project is different. So that is if you are whenever you are doing changes, it is treated as the next version of your project. So to maintain multiple versions of your project, then we have to use Git. Git is the version control system, works with GitHub. So in GitHub, we are going to place multiple versions of your project. Multiple versions means whenever you are doing changes, you have to place the code in GitHub. From GitHub, we'll take the project to pythonanywhere.com. We can move. Okay, so in your laptop, in my system, virtual environment may not be required because we may create only one project and we may use it. Okay, so then we may not have conflict. But in my system, 4 or 5 virtual environments are there because I'm taking Django for different batches. So different virtual environments are created. So based on the examples I'm giving, then I will install the related versions. Then when I install related versions, the project will run successfully. It won't have conflict with other versions because in that virtual system, the required softwares are installing. Like in IT companies also, when they have development server, in development server, many projects may be there. Okay, many projects may be there which are developed by the different teams, development teams. So in that case, what they'll do is they'll create a different virtual environments for their projects. Whatever softwares are required, whatever prerequisite or software requirements are there, they'll install. And the projects will run in that particular location. It will install here. When multiple projects are there, we are creating a separate environment. And there we are running the projects. In development server, virtual environment is mandatory. In production servers, it is mandatory only. We have to do this because without virtual environments, we cannot run Django projects. So it is not possible. So it is safe also. Whatever projects we are running, it is safe. Like every time, they are those who are maintaining the servers, they will call to us and they will say that your site is not running. Like what happened, like thing version problems are there. All these issues they'll not say because virtual environment is under your control. Whatever changes you want to do in your virtual system, virtual environment, you can do changes. Modifications can be done. And here, first I'll explain the commands, then I'll tell how these commands will work. Okay, first let me explain all this. So here we can, in my system, this Python software is installed in D drive here. So it is in Python. In Python 3932, it is there here. So 3932 means 3.9.4. Now latest version is 3.9.5 is the latest version. So here in D drive, in Python 3932 folder, in scripts folder, I am executing this command. Like pip install virtual env is given. So pip means Python package manager, used to search and download Python packages. So Python package means it is a collection of modules, Python modules or files. And here pip install virtual env. Virtual env is a tool, it is a software. So it is used to install virtual environment in our system. So when we are installing this, when we are using this command virtual env, then virtual environment is installed. That software is installed. When that software is installed, we can create any number of virtual environments we can create. So here in my system, so here in D drive, it is there Python 3932. So 39 means 3.9.4 or 3.9.5. 32 means 32 bit. So Python software is available in 2 bits, 32 bit and 64 bit. So here I'm using 32 bit I'm using. Like in Python classes, I'll tell how to install Python 32 bit, how to install 64 bit. In Python classes, I used to discuss all this.
Sir,
Now,
we should assign. Sir, we should assign the operating system version also in my virtual environment.
no, I didn't get.
So Python 39 you are giving that is default in the system, or we have to give as per the or like virtual environment. Hello, for Windows 30, 32 bits and 64 bits. There's we should assign that, or that must be a
No,
by
no.
default.
See, no. See, I'm using Windows 64 bit. I'm using. My system is Windows 64 bit. It is Windows 10 Pro, Windows 10 Professional I'm using. Okay, and Python is 32 bit. I can install 64 bit also. 64 bit is only recommended, but I'm using 32 bit. I'm using. Your system can have Windows. Your system will be Windows 64 bit. It can be. It will be Windows 64 only. We all will use. And Python you can choose 32 bit or 64 bit. For Django, it will not ask. Why? Because it's based on Python software, it will works. Based on Python software, Django will works because Python Django means it is Python files only, Python modules. Based on the version we install, then based on the bit, it will works here. And here we can execute this command pip install virtual env. We can install. Here I'll say pip install virtual env. So here virtual environment is created. So that software is installed, the tool is installed. Now we can create virtual environments in any location we can create. So here I will create in D drive. So in D drive, many folders are there. So now here you can see, after installing this, we'll go to the drive where to store Django projects. Okay, so here we are using, here I'm using E drive or D drive. So I may use a D drive only. Okay, so after going to the required location, from skips we'll go to D drive or E drive, F drive, anywhere we can do this. And we'll create a folder. So here you can see make directory source is given. So make directory is a DOS command. So you can create this using right click also. In my PC, right click new folder, like that also we can create. So make directory is very old DOS command we are using. So because I am working in at command prompt, so I am using this. Make directory source means we are creating a new folder called source. For Django projects, for Django applications, I am using source. I am using here folder name. Okay, so that I can identify easily the Django folders, because in our system, like in office systems, like many folders may be there. Like with many folders, we may have confusion, like which is related with software. For Django projects, we are going to use source. If I give some other name, it will take. There is no rule like I should use only source. But in real time also, they will use the same names, like source they'll use, so that we can identify which is the Django folder source. Then entering into the folder cd change directory source. Cd is also DOS command only. So in this folder, we are creating new environment, virtual environment. That is virtual env. My env is given here. Okay, virtual env is the tool or software, and my env is the new environment we are creating. So my env, I'm giving the name there. You can give any name. No need to write my env or no need to write source. Source is also not required. All are using, so I'm also using it. But in real time also you may see the same folder. I am using same. My env, I'm giving the name as my env. My virtual environment I'm giving. So you can give different name to this. And here to enter into virtual environment, then we have to write like this: environment name my env slash backslash backslash, because in Python we'll use forward slash. No, in programming we'll use forward slash. Here my env backslash scripts, then activate. So when we do like this, then we'll enter into virtual environment. So when we enter into virtual environment, we'll get like this virtual environment name, then folder name, drive and folder name. Like this we'll get. Like we'll know, like whether we are in virtual environment or not, we'll know, because we'll get that name. Before the path and folder name, we'll get that, which will show the virtual environment name. It will show. After entering into virtual environment, we can install Django software here. So here you can see pip install Django. Then we can give the version, which version you want to install. So latest version is 3.2.3 is there. So djangoproject.com, download. So here you can see 3.2.3 is there, latest version. So we'll give this. So if you want any old version, you can give the number. Like this we can give Django 3.1 or 2.5 or 2.1. Latest version will give like this. If you install like this, pip install Django. If you write only Django, it will install latest version. And if you are after executing this, then if you want to know what all softwares and packages are installed, you can write pip freeze. We can write. So when we write pip freeze, it will show Django which version is installed and what are the Python packages are installed. It will show here. After this, here we are going to create a project here. So Django admin, start project, project 1. So Django admin is the command. This command will work only after installing Django. After installing Django, Django admin command will work. Start project is the command here. We have to write that start project. Then project 1. So in my classes here, I used to use like project 1, project 2, project 3, like that I used to give here. Okay. So in Django, project is the collection of applications here. Applications means websites. So in one project, you can create any number of applications. any number of websites for the same client or for different clients, different companies. We can do that. So in every project, 6 apps are installed automatically. 6 applications are installed, 6 websites like authentication, security, session management, like admin, all these. I'll show you like what all the applications will get. Like when we install Sublime, okay, then we'll see what are the files in the project, what are the files in the application, all we'll discuss. The hierarchy will discuss. Okay, so here we are giving project as project 1. Okay, so in my examples, I'll write a project 1, project 2, project 3, project 40, 45, like that I'll give, so that we can understand the flow, like one by one you can see. But when you do the project for any client or business, any company, you have to give the company name. Company name you have to give there, and you need to use it. Okay, so if you are developing a project for this like companies in Tata group there, like then you can give different names, you can define different names you can give. So in Tata, like TCS is there, and we can see like Titan is there, many other companies are. So when you give the name for the project, like when you are creating the project for any business group like Tata or Aditya Birla Group or Reliance Group or Future Group, anything, you can give that business group name. And in that business group, you can give the applications, websites you can create. And here, creating the project, entering into the project, CD project 1. So here we are in this new project here. And in this project, you can create any number of applications. By default, 6 apps are installed. 6 applications or 6 websites are installed. Okay. And here we are creating another website here, Python manage.py. Python means exe file. Python.exe. Or we can use a py. Py means PyLauncher. Manage.py is there. So in every project, manage.py file is created in every project, Django project. So it is used to create application, and it is used to run web server. To run web server, we'll use manage.py. Start app, we have to write start app, no space. And here website 1. So for applications, I used to write website 1, website 2, website 3, like that I used to give. Okay. So here in project 1, website 1 is created. Okay. So to run this project, or to run the applications in the project, to run the websites in the project, we are giving like this: Python exe file manage.py run server we have to use, so that we can access the applications in the project. We can execute the websites in the project. In browser, we should write like this. So here in browser, we have to write 127.0.0.1.8000. 127.0.0.1.8000 means 127.0.0.1 means it is the IP address of the local host. Local host means browser will communicate with the web server in the same system, because Django project, Django applications, all are in the same system. All are in my laptop only. So in browser, when I type 127.0.0.1, then it will connect to the web server in the same system, and it will show the pages from the application. Okay, so we can write local host also. Instead of writing 127.0.0.1, we can write local host. No, we should not give space. Local host when we write, then browser will communicate with the web server in the same system, then it will show the pages in the website. And here 8000 is a port number. So port number is the memory location where the client and server will communicate. Where browser, client means browser, server means web server. In web server, the websites will be there, project websites. So port number is a memory location where client and server will communicate, or a browser and web server will communicate, and the data is transferred between them. Okay, so port number is very, very important here. So with port number, communication is possible. Default is 8000, we can run web server. We can run web server with different port numbers. Django web server runs with 8000. If you want to run with some other number, you can do it. It is possible. Okay. After checking the website in the browser.
Sir, 8,000, 4,000, these are the server numbers or what?
I didn't get, your voice is not clear.
Oh, sir, there is sometimes I seen the 8,000 or 4,000. What it is basically? So we are used server.
See, 8000 is the port number. Port number is the memory location where client and server will communicate. Client means what? Browser. Okay, server means web server. So browser and web server will communicate, and then we'll get a request and response will get. So that works here. See, when you take web servers, database servers, application servers, all will works with port number. If you want to work with web servers or database servers, application servers, clients will communicate with port number only. Like for example, Tomcat web server is there in Java. Tomcat web server is there, so it runs with 8080. IIS web server is there, Internet Information Services in .NET, so it will runs with 80. Like Oracle database server is there, it will runs with 1541. It will run. Okay, like SQL server will runs with 1433. Every web server, every application server, every database server will have port number. So how the clients will communicate with the server? Through port number communicate. Without port number, it is not possible. So here 127.0.0.1 means we are saying where this server is located, location. Okay, so server may be in some other place. Then we'll give the IP address of that server. Like for example, in internet we'll write gmail.com. Gmail.com is the domain name, but internally it has IP address of the server. Then with the help of IP address, we'll connect to the server, we'll get the response. All this is done. Okay. See, when I will give you the examples, you'll get clarity. Like I'm just telling you the theory part. When I will give you the examples, then you will understand clearly like how it is going to work. Okay. And here after doing all this, after checking the website in browser, then if you want to uninstall Django, then we can give like this: pip uninstall Django. Because if you want to change the version, like by mistake, if you have installed one version, if you want to remove that version, then you can give like this: uninstall that version which is installed. And if you want to exit from virtual environment, then we'll give like this: mynv, then scripts, then deactivate. mynv is a virtual environment name, like what we have created now, what we are going to create. Then deactivate means we'll come out from virtual environment to the system drives will come. We'll move to system folders. So all these commands I will be explaining in tomorrow's class. So today I've told how to install virtual environment in scripts folder, but other commands I didn't execute. So tomorrow we'll discuss in detail about all these. Well, once again I'll repeat all these and I'll tell how these are going to execute. Then after that I'll tell how to install Sublime IDE. Then we'll see what are the files in the project and what are the files in the application, where to write the code. All these we are going to discuss. Okay. And those who have not yet registered, please register for the batch. Then I will be sending the recorded videos and notes to your mail ID so that you can practice. Okay.
So here it is mentioned that real-time project. So can I have overview of real-time project?
Real-time projects, huh? So here I'm going to explain about the website related. Website
here
related to yeah. See here, whatever
overview of real-time project, like how.
See what all examples I'll give, all are real-time examples only. So when I give real-time examples, whatever you are learning in the class, you are going to implement in the project. See, all the course is not a dummy course, no. Whatever examples I'm giving, all are real-time examples which are used in the website. Real-time project means if I tell something, and in project if I'm explaining some other things, it is different. Okay, so all are real-time examples, because I will tell how to design the pages, how to write the code, how to integrate with the database, all we'll discuss. And based on all the chapters what we have discussed, we are going to see one project. So we'll put all these together in one project, like database connections, session management, security, authentication, like many other options will be there. I'll put all together and I'll give you one project. I'll show you one project. Okay. So that project is also there here. If you want to see, like it is like business application only. It is business application means it is used in it can be used in colleges, universities, like to maintain students details, then other information we can use it. See, here I'm having online shopping projects, and I'm having like machine learning projects are there. But here what I'll do is I will take a project, business application project, which can be used by any number of clients in colleges, in universities, it can be used. So this is the project we are discussing here. So here the code you can see here, migrations. So this contains registration, feedback, and a lot of other details will be there. And along with this, I can give you other projects also. Like your online shopping projects are there, machine learning projects are there. So here you can see online property sale is there, cyber security, and here machine learning projects, all these are there. Like along with the project what I'm going to explain, if you want other projects also I can give, I'll send. Okay. Okay, students, anything to ask? See, those have already registered, I will send you the notes and videos. Definitely I'll send. So today definitely I'll send. Okay.